The first recipe for happiness is avoid too lengthy meditation on the past. Often we allow ourselves to be upset by small things we should despise and forget. We lose many irreplaceable hours brooding over grievances that in a year's time will be forgotten by us and by everybody. No, let us devote our life to worthwhile actions and feelings, to great thoughts, real affections, and enduring undertakings. Conversation would be vastly improved by the constant use of 4 simple words. I do not know. A happy marriage is a long conversation which always seems too short. If you create an act, you create a habit. If you create a habit, you create a character. If you create a character, you create a destiny. Art is an effort to create beside the real world a more humane world. A marriage without conflicts is almost as inconceivable as a nation without crises. We can talk frankly about our defects only to those who recognize our qualities. A true woman loves a strong man because she knows his weaknesses. She protects as much as she is protected. Without a family, man alone in the world trembles with the cold. It is better to teach a few things perfectly than many things indifferently. Every 10 years you should delete from your mind a few ideas that your experience has proven to be false. To be witty is not enough. One must possess sufficient wit to avoid having too much of it. Experience is valuable only when it has brought suffering, and when the suffering has left its mark upon both body and mind. Smile, for everyone lacks self-confidence, and more than any other one thing, a smile reassures them. Sincerity is glass, discretion is diamond. A friend loves you for your intelligence, a mistress for your charm, but your family's love is unreasoning. You were born into it and are of its flesh and blood. Nevertheless, it can irritate you more than any group of people in the world. Time is a factor in all action. An imperfect scheme, put into action at the proper time, is better than a perfect one accomplished too late. The difficult part in an argument is not to defend one's opinion, but rather to know it. All of us, from time to time, need a plunge into freedom and novelty, after which routine and discipline will seem delightful by contrast. Few are they who have never had a chance to achieve happiness, and few are those who have taken that chance. Our minds have unbelievable power over our bodies. We appreciate frankness from those who like us. Frankness from others is called insolence. A greedy search for money or success will almost always lead men into unhappiness. Why? Because that kind of life makes them depend upon things outside themselves. We don't love a woman for what she says. We like what she says because we love her. A successful marriage is an edifice that must be rebuilt every day. Growing old is no more than a bad habit which a busy person has no time to form. Above all things, never be afraid. The enemy who forces you to retreat is himself afraid of you at that very moment. The art of reading is in great part that of acquiring a better understanding of life from one's encounter with it in a book. Advice is always a confession. We console ourselves with several friends for not having found one real one. Learning is nothing without cultivated manners, but when the two are combined in a woman, you have one of the most exquisite products of civilization. We owe to the Middle Ages the two worst inventions of humanity: romantic love and gunpowder. Like a bird, when his cage is opened, stays on his perch, dazzled by freedom, The postponed traveler does not see that his cage, with its bars of anxiety, it is open. People are what you make them. A scornful look turns into a complete fool. A man of average intelligence. A contemptuous indifference turns into an enemy. A woman who, well treated, might have been an angel. If men could regard the events of their own lives with more open minds, they would frequently discover that they did not really desire the things they failed to obtain. A gentleman is never in a hurry. You don't love a man for what he says, but love what he says because you love him. Information is not culture. In the mind of a truly educated person, facts are organized, and they make up a living world in the image of the world of reality. There are certain persons for whom pure truth is a poison. Live as if you were eternal. Memory is a great artist. For every man and for every woman, it makes the recollection of his or her life a work of art and an unfaithful record. Among the idle rich, boredom is one of the most common causes of unhappiness. People who have difficulty in earning their living may suffer greatly, but they are not bored. Wealthy men and women become bored when they depend upon the theater for their enjoyment instead of making their own lives interesting. Lost Illusion is the undisclosed title of every novel. One has very little influence upon one's children. Their characters are what they are, and one can do nothing to change them. To desire to be perpetually in the society of a pretty woman until the end of one's days is as if because one likes good wine, one wished always to have one's mouth full of it. If you love these quotes, please subscribe to this channel and watch our next video.